There you are, brother.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm on
So,
two separate cameras.
okay.
Hold
Well,
on.
listen, we will take those two cameras because you are also live
Okay.
going out to hundreds of people across the country. And it was really important to us that we have you on and had a chance to talk to you. Can you, because you and I had a chance to speak last week and really talk about this piece. Can you talk to the audience for a second about why this piece was important for you to write and in the way that you chose to write it?
Well, I wrote it because of what happened to Idris Elba when they were considering casting him as Bond. I thought it was crazy as hell
Yeah.
that they wouldn't give him his props because he deserved the role. But the guy who created the role didn't want a black man to play the role. So I thought that was hilarious too.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
kind of made me angry, and it made me a bit angry. So I wrote the piece, and hey, there it is.
You know, one thing that I
So
think is so great about this work, and you and I've talked about this before, is the way that we can use art to reach a broad group of people, and how sometimes theater can become elitist, right? And how it can like segment and segregate, even within our own culture. Why do you choose, and how do you choose to approach your art in a way that still makes it so deep and complex as this piece is, but appealing to a wide group of people in its comedy?
I try to write about the people that we know, you know, like the average Joe down the street, the people who, the people that don't normally get to see theater.
Yeah.
You know, they would come if they saw more people like them. You know, everyone's not PhDs or we can't all be academics. And there are people who want to see theater that don't want to sit at home and watch TV, and they want to be portrayed in the right way. Not, I don't really know how to put it, but just your average Joe,
Yeah.
and not your college professors. And I don't want to tell you about my love life and who's cheating on my man and all of this because that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant,
Yeah.
but it is relevant that we're not getting the job or the credentials that we deserve after we work hard for them, And it's hilarious that it's 2021 and we're still asking questions about casting and why I can't get this job or why there was no black people at the Oscars. It's just, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of make light of it because if you don't make light of it, it creates anger and hostility. And I think that's the wrong approach. You know,
Yeah. As we start to wrap up for the day, it's interesting to me because you and I spoke, you've been writing, but you came to theater as kind of a second career, right?
yeah,
And started writing at a time in your life when you had worked, you had been in the world. How do you think that affected your work? Do you think that affects your writing differently than if you had started, younger and built that as your primary career?
yeah, because I can look at it from a different perspective. I have good stories to tell now. When I was younger, I didn't have good stories to tell. But I've fallen a few times and gotten up a few times. So what I write about is from experience. And I mean, there are a lot of young writers out there, and they have good stuff to write about. But I want to give you something you can feel, and you can't feel it. I don't think until you've been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to walk that road first. Once you've been down that road, then you can say, "Yeah, I know this dude. I know this cat." You know, you know.
It was really cool. Your piece was really, it's deceptive, because when you first look at it, it's just like, oh, this is funny. I'm laughing. It's hilarious. But when you start really digging into it and you start hearing it coming out of people's mouths, you realize how deadly serious it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
most good comedy comes out of reality, like a real groundedness, and kind of how both Bond and Blackjack Nasty, they both, their realities are their realities kind of before they get on the same page is I guess what I'm saying. And then it was really cool to hear, because I don't think until we heard Doug read those lines when he was talking about like, the white man didn't say shit when when X,
Right.
Y, and Z happened. We were like, wait a minute, like he's really schooling this dude. Like he's really educating this younger man while also at the same time playing the role of all the people that he's saying these are the only types of jobs that we get. So it's an interesting dichotomy. It's an interesting conundrum to be in, right? Like when you only have certain roles to choose from, are you just not going to take them? But then also, how do you navigate that space?
Yeah. And I think that's something that we deal with. Go ahead, Louis.
I try to write plays. You laugh at them while you're there, and then you get home. You said, "Damn, I don't think I should have laughed at that." It's kind of disturbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have laughed at that. And you think about it and say, "Wait a minute, maybe I'm a little sick too." So
Yeah.
it's kind of disturbing in a way that you allow yourself to laugh at some of this stuff. But in the moment, it's really funny to you, until you sit back and say, "Oh, this kind of disturbing." So, yeah.
Well, because it in some ways pokes holes in the myth, right, that we try to build. Like we try to build these fallacies up for ourselves, and then we're laughing at this, and we're laughing at it because there's an element of truth in it. Because we know Blackjack Nasty, we know that character, we know that person, and we see that interaction on a regular basis. As we get out of here today, Louis, I'm curious. As you're writing, as you're continuing to put out new content, what is it that you're hoping audiences are taking away from your work, from Making Bond, and from everything else that you're producing?
Hate is not cool. That's all I can say. Just hate is bad. That's my only mantra. Just try to accept people at face value, and hate is bad.
Yeah.
That's about that's the only way I can size it up.
Louis, you are so cool, man. You are so cool. Like, I just gotta say, like, your whole vibe is really cool. The piece is really cool. Like, the way that all of the actors were able to latch in and really get their characters just speaks to the humanity that you've written into all of them. And I mean, it's just amazing. It's amazing how in a piece that is, how long was Making Bond?
I mean, I think the final running time was under 8 minutes. 7.5.
I mean,
yeah.
For us to totally get these people in that short amount of time is pretty brilliant. I mean, I just gotta say, it's pretty brilliant, Louis. So thank you.
Well,
Yeah. Yep.
Can I say one last thing?
Of course.
I have a very short attention span. So if I'm spending money to see a play, you have to get me right away. Because if you don't get me right away, I'm going to do something else. So I try to get people in their seats as soon as I get them, and tell the story real quick, send them home. See you later.
Can I ask you one follow-up to that, Louis, since you bring that up? Because I feel like a lot of times as producers, as directors, as writers, we have these lofty goals about what we want to accomplish, right? And you mentioned earlier wanting to write for the everyman. If you had to give one word to Black theater, to producers, to directors, about how we produce the work, about the way we take care of the audience, what would that word be?
Open. 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 Open the door for everyone. Inclusive.
Yeah.
I think inclusive would be better.
Yeah. A big tent, right? Being able to produce work that everybody can latch onto.
Put everybody in the house at one time.
Yeah.
Put us all in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, brother, thank you. It's been a joy to be able to talk to you tonight. Please, where can people find you if they want to see more of your work?
I guess Facebook. I'm not really social media, dude. But I would like to say I really enjoyed working with you cats. This was really well put together. This was really nice, man. I'm happily amazed. I'm very happily amazed.
Thank you.
This is why I do it. This is really good. Really good. I'm proud of you guys.
Well, listen, there's a whole team of folk that you're not seeing right now that helped put this together. Yeah. So as much as Alexis and I work really hard, we can't take all the credit. So we appreciate you for trusting us with this work.
Spread it around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, spread it around, baby.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Thank
you take
you.
care.
You guys too.
Thank
Nice
you.
talking.
Yes, sir.
Nice.